Hello students, today we'll start with the topic of inverse Z transform. Inverse Z transform is the process of obtaining the x of n if x of z is given to us. Now this is the formula for obtaining x of z from x of z, which is 1 by 2 pi j contour integration x of z z to the power n minus 1 dz, where c is the counterclockwise contour of the integration enclosing the origin. Now there are different methods of obtaining the inverse Z transform. The first method is if x of z is the expression where we are having the different coefficients of the powers of z. In that case we can directly write it in the form of x of n, as we know that the x of z is the formula where it is integration minus infinity to infinity x of n z to the power minus n dz. Now if we are having the different powers of z, that means we are having the positive powers of z and the negative powers of z. That means these are the values, the coefficients are the values for the different values of n. So here we can write that as we are given with the x of z, we have taken the example of x of z here. Now this one, that is 4z to the power minus 3, 4z to the power minus 3 will be the value of x of minus 3, and 3 is the value of x of minus 1. And since we are not having z square term here, so x of minus 2 will be 0, and x of minus 1 is 3, and here we are having z to the power minus 1, and minus 2 is the value of x of 1. And since we are not having the constant term here, so x of 0 is 0, and 5 z to the power minus 2, so this one, the x of 2 is 5, and x is, here it is minus 6 z to the power minus 3, so x of 3 equals to minus 6. X of n can be written as 4 0 3 0, and this 0 indicates the value of xn at n equals to 0, minus 2 5 and minus 6. So by this method we can easily obtain the value of xn. Now coming to the next method, which is a partial fraction expansion method. Now you people must be knowing about this method in the previous semesters. X of z is a rational function of z. That means if x of z is defined as n of z by d of z, where it is, we are having a numerator z and the denominator z, and we can further write it in terms of the number of zeros and the number of poles. Now if we are assuming that the number of poles, that is z minus p1 to z minus pn, are more than the number of zeros. Now here we are assuming that n is greater than m. N designates the number of poles that we are having, and m designates the number of zeros we are having. So this can be further written as x of z by z, c naught by z, plus c1 by z minus p1, plus c2 by z minus p2, plus cn by z minus pn. This is the method that we can write in the partial fraction expansion. Now this can be further written as x of z by z plus c naught by z plus summation k1 to n ck by z minus pk, where c naught can be obtained as x of z for z equals to 0, and ck, any value of ck, can be obtained as z minus pk into x of z by z for the for z equals to pk. So this is the method for that we can obtain the different values of c's, that is c0, c1, c2 and cn, for the different values of the poles by keeping the different values of the poles for z. And this is possible only when n is greater than m. Now the n is the number of zeros, number of poles, and m is the number of zeros that we are having. Now in that case, in the case if m is greater than n, in that case here the x of z can be written as summation q0 to m minus 1. Here we have taken another coefficient bq z to the power q. Now plus summation k1 to n, this remains as it is ck z by z minus pk. So this is the expansion method of x of z when m is greater than n. We will see it with the formula also. If x of z has multiple order poles, say pi, now if suppose we are having z minus pi ka whole square, or z minus pi whole to the power 3, or z minus pi whole to the power 4, in that case we can write our x of z by z will consist of these many terms, that is lambda 1 by z minus p1, lambda 2 by z minus pi whole square, plus this goes as lambda r by z minus pi whole to the power r. Now what is r here? R is the multiple pole with multiplicity r. Now if we are having z minus pi whole to the power 3, that means it will go 3 times. If you are having z minus pi whole to the power 2, that means it will go only 2 times. That means we'll be having only two constants, lambda 1 and lambda 2. If the multiplicity goes with 3 times, that is z minus pi to the power 3, in that case it will be having three constants, lambda 1, lambda 2 and lambda 3, where lambda r minus k. Now here we need to obtain the values of these lambdas, lambda 1, lambda 2 and lambda r. So this can be obtained as lambda r minus k. R will be the multiplicity value, k is the 1, 2, 3, that whatever we are taking. So here lambda r minus k equals to 1 by k factorial dk by dz k z minus pi to the power r x of z by z for z minus pi, z equals to pi values. So this can be easily obtained, and we'll see it by the numerical when we will be doing it. So these are the formulas for the different conditions of x of z given to us. Now we'll be solving one example based on this. Obtain the inverse z transform for x of z which is given to us. Now this is for different cases of ROC. Now if x of z is mod of z greater than 1 by 3, if ROC is 1 by 4 less than mod of z less than 1 by 3, and if ROC is less than 1 by 4. Now what are we concluding from these three ROCs? The first ROC says that mod of z is greater than 1 by 3. That means this is completely a right-sided sequence. And this one says that mod of z is in between 1 by 4 to 1 by 3. That means this is a two-sided sequence where we'll be having a ROC as a form of a ring. We'll be having an inner circle, we'll be having an outer circle, the inner circle of radius 1 by 4, the outer circle of radius 1 by 3, and this will form a ROC. The last one, that is the C, mod of z is less than 1 by 4. That means it's an interior of the circle of radius 1 by 4. That means it's a completely left-sided sequence. Now from these three we'll come to the conclusions. Now there are two poles. Let us take the sequence. Let us take the x of z expression what is given to us. X of z is 3 minus 5 by 6 z to the power minus 1 upon 1 minus 1 by 4 z to the power minus 1 into 1 minus 1 by 3 z to the power minus 1. Now from this particular sequence, from this particular expression, if we are multiplying the numerator and denominator by z square, we'll be getting this form of x of z, where z into 3z minus 5 by 6 by z minus 1 by 4 z minus 1 by 3. Now from this particular expression we can conclude that we are having two poles, one at 1 by 4 and one at 1 by 3, and we are having two zeros, one at z equals to 0 and one at z equals to 5 by 6, and the ROC which is given to us in the condition in A part is mod of z is greater than 1 by 3. Now from property 4, we know that any value which is after this particular maximum value of pole will always be there in the ROC. So we know that the inverse transform is a right-sided sequence. X of z can be expanded by the method of partial fraction. Hence we can write as this x of z by z. Here I have divided this x of z by z. Now this was as the expression was given to us as x of z equals to z into 3z minus 5 by 6, z minus 1 by 4, z minus 1 by 3. Now we need to write it in the form of x of z by z. So here I have written it x of z by z. This can be written as 3z minus 5 by 6, z minus 1 by 4, z minus 1 by 3. Now this can further be written as c0 by z plus c1 by z minus 1 by 4 plus c2 by z minus 1 by 3. Now since we are having two poles, we have extended it to only c1, c0, c1 and c2 values. So from the expansion of partial fraction, since we have only two poles, so we will have the expansion till c2 only. Now we need to find out the values of c0, c1 and c2. We'll put the value of c0. c0 is x of z at z equals to 0. X of z is this value, and we'll put the value of 0. It will be 0 directly. Since we are having z in the numerator, it will be directly 0. Hence c0 is 0. Now for ck, it is z minus pk, x of z by z at z equals to pk. C1 we can obtain. C1 is z minus 1 by 4. As we have written here, C1 is C1 by z minus 1 by 4. So C1 is z minus 1 by 4, 3 is x of z by z, that is 3z minus 5 by 6 by z minus 1 by 4, z minus 1 by 3 for the value of the pole, that is z equals to 1 by 4. So these two terms, that is z minus 1 by 4, z minus 1 by 4 gets cancelled, and C1 obtained after all the calculation is 1. Similarly, we can even obtain the value of C2. C2 by just putting in the same formula of Ck, we will get C2 as 2. Now, we have got x of z by z. The C0 value is 0. C1 is 1. 1 by z minus 1 by 4. C2 value is 2 by z minus 1 by 3. So this can be further written as, by taking the z in the numerators of the right side, x of z is z by z minus 1 by 4 plus 2 into z by z minus 1 by 3. Now finding the inverse z transform. Now this x of z will have x of n as the inverse z transform. It will have two parts. This one is x1n and this one is x2n. Now we know that ROC is mod of z greater than 1 by 3. Now the sequence is a right sided sequence. We already know that. Now x of n, this one can be directly written as 1 by 4 to the power n un. 1 by 4 to the power n un will have the z transform z by z minus 1 by 4, and z by z minus 1 by 3 will have 1 by 3 to the power n un. Now this can be simply written as 1 by 4 to the power n un plus 2 1 by 3 to the power n un. Now x1z is z by z minus 1 by 4, x2z is 2 into z by z minus 1 by 3. So from the x1n we can write this as this 1 by 4 to the power n un, where mod of z will be greater than 1 by 4, and x2n will be z inverse of x2z, 2 1 by 3 to the power n un, where mod of z will be greater than 1 by 3. Now combining these two, our x of n will be 1 by 4 n un plus 2 times 1 by 3 n un. Now this is what is the sequence for the ROC which is given to us. Now coming to the B part, where ROC is 1 by 4 less than mod of z less than 1 by 3. From the ROC, we conclude that mod of z is greater than 1 by 4, that is the exterior of the circle of radius 1 by 4, and mod of z is less than 1 by 3, that is the interior of the circle of the radius 1 by 3. Hence, term associated with pole z1 by 4 is a right-sided sequence. Now, this one will be a right-sided sequence and this one will be a left-sided sequence. So, we need to we already have obtained the result of x of z, that is x of z is z by z minus 1 by 4 plus 2 times z by z minus 1 by 3. This is mod of z greater than 1 by 4. For this is mod of z less than 1 by 3. Now x1n has 1 by 1 minus 1 by 4 z to the power minus 1, where mod of z is greater than 1 by 4. x2n is 2 by 1 minus 1 by 3 z to the power minus 1, where mod of z is less than 1 by 3. Now x1n remains same, but x2n, since mod of z is less than 1 by 3, this one will be a left sided sequence. Hence the inverse of this will be minus 2, 1 by 3 to the power n u of minus n minus 1. So finally we can write our x of n as 1 by 4 to the power n un minus 2, 1 by 3 to the power n u of minus n minus 1. Now third part, the ROC is mod of z less than 1 by 4. In this case, ROC is inside both the poles. The sequence is a left-sided sequence. So we'll find the x1n, that is z inverse of 1 by 1 minus 4 z to the power minus 1 mod of z less than 1 by 4. x1n will be minus 1 by 4 to the power n u of minus n minus 1. x2n z inverse of 2 by 1 minus 1 by 3 z to the power minus 1 mod of z is less than 1 by 3. x2n will be minus 2 into 1 by 3 to the power n u of minus n minus 1. So that we can write our sequence as x of n equals to minus 1 by 4 to the power n u of minus n minus 1 minus 2 1 by 3 to the power n u of minus n minus 1. So that's all for today, students. Take care. Bye bye.